Imagine if Volkswagen launched a new Corrado in 2010. The following is an alternative history, so get yourself an alternative tea and settle in. In the early 1990s, the Corrado, which was intended to supersede the Scirocco, failed to capture the market due to its exorbitant price, causing quite the quandary for Volkswagen. The initial generation of the Corrado, despite being an impressive feat, proved to be financially out of reach for a market segment not prepared to shell out for a premium front-wheel drive sports car. Moreover, the Corrado's debut lineup lacked powertrain options that excited consumers, a situation only remedied much later with the introduction of the notable VR6. This delayed edition struggled to alter the preconceived notions about the vehicle. Recognizing the need to appeal to a wider audience, Volkswagen paused the Corrado project, reallocating resources towards creating a lineup of SUVs, reflecting changing consumer tastes. Volkswagen then successfully broadened the appeal of their Golf range, enhancing the image of front-wheel drive vehicles with the wildly popular Golf GTI and all-wheel drive variants such as the R32 and the forthcoming R models. By the mid-2000s, the company's product planning team identified a gap in the market that could be filled with the reimagined Corrado. The internal discussions revolved around whether to resurrect the Scirocco moniker, which the original Corrado was supposed to carry. However, they ultimately favored the Corrado, arguing it was easier to pronounce in international markets. The next step was to leverage existing platforms and components currently in development to create an attractive offering without triggering a surge in development costs. The PQ35 platform, which underpinned the Mark VI Golf among others, was chosen, ensuring a robust foundation for performance and dependability. The new Corrado employed a McPherson strut suspension at the front and a multi-link arrangement at the rear, mirroring its Golf siblings but tuned for a sportier profile, aligning with its coupe persona. However, what lay under the hood set the Corrado apart from the Mark VI Golf lineup. The second-generation Corrado was introduced in two trims, an entry-level TSI model sporting a front-wheel drive layout and a 2-litre turbocharged engine borrowed from the Golf GTI, pushing out 210 horsepower. The pinnacle was a VR6 variant, powered by a 3.6-litre naturally aspirated BWS engine from the R36 Passat, generating a formidable 295 horsepower and accompanied by an all-wheel drive system. This decision sparked a heated debate internally, as the VR6 engine was being phased out from the Golf lineup to enhance fuel efficiency, trim costs, and to leverage the easier tuning potential of the 4-cylinder engine, much to the dismay of loyal R32 enthusiasts. However, Volkswagen held the belief that the VR6's naturally aspirated driving dynamics, despite its heft and less efficient nature, would cater to a niche of enthusiasts, just like the Corrado's body style. This differentiation enabled Volkswagen to justify the Corrado's higher price point over its Golf counterparts, thus sidestepping the pricing issue that had plagued the first-generation Corrado. The design language of the new Corrado also paid tribute to its predecessor, boasting a unique liftback design, sloping rear window, truncated rear deck, and an angular front end. Regrettably, the Corrado's development phase coincided with the 2008 global financial crisis, necessitating certain compromises. To accommodate the tightening budget, the design team took the decision to overhaul the front end with components shared with the upcoming A6 Jetta model, although slightly tweaked. As for the interior, VW stayed true to the platform with Mark VI Golf components, but elevated by premium touches such as factory-fitted Napa leather seats and aluminum trims to bolster the perceived quality and justify the price tag. Upon its launch in November 2010, the Mark II Corrado was met with overwhelming positive reviews. The VR6 variant was particularly commended for its pure driving experience, iconic VR6 engine note, and immediate throttle response. During critical review, it emerged as a commendable if somewhat puzzling contender. The TSI model held its ground against the recently launched Golf GTI in performance figures, but the VR6 offered a more nuanced comparison against the Golf R. Despite packing an additional 40 horsepower over the Golf R, the VR6 was hampered by its weight and torque curve, affecting the 0-60 and quarter-mile times from a standstill. However, once both vehicles got rolling, the VR6 took the lead. Regarding weight, critics also noted the V6 engine's additional heft impacted its agility and turn-in precision compared to both the Golf R and the Corrado TSI variant. Furthermore, the entry-level TSI model was deemed superior for daily commutes thanks to its mid-range turbocharged torque, despite its lower price. Additionally, its impressive tuning potential meant enthusiasts could match or surpass the VR6's power output, albeit limited by the traction of the front-wheel drive setup. When up against contemporaries like the Nissan 370Z, Audi A5 and BMW 328i, journalists found the Corrado comparable in terms of performance and price, with a slight edge in its unique styling which honored its heritage. Ultimately, the decision to resurrect the Corrado in 2010 led to a triumphant return for the nameplate. Volkswagen learned from past mistakes, presenting the Mark II Corrado with a full range of performance powertrains and a justifiable price tag compared to rivals, thus setting the stage for a potential Mark III. What do you think would have happened if VW launched a new Corrado back in 2010? Let us know in the comments, and please consider subscribing to Past Gear to see the next story unfold. Cheerio!